Adams or something.
Yeah. Hold on, bro. ¿Quiere decir algo? ¿Por qué lo avisó?
So the individual that we just walked out is a 55-year-old Arthur Quiroga, 55-year-old Arthur Quiroga, SID number 455749. So on July 21st of 1998, SAPD was dispatched to the south side of town for a report of a sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl. At the time, the report, the suspect used a firearm to abduct the victim, threatened her with the firearm, and then sexually assaulted her. There, the officers found the 15-year-old victim, took her to a local hospital where a SANE exam was performed, was completed. On June 27th of this year, our SVU detectives received a CODIS match linking the DNA profile collected from the SANE exam in 1998 to a known sample taken from the suspect that we just walked out. On July 9th of this year, a search warrant for the DNA of the defendant or the suspect was issued for comparison and confirmation. On July 10th, the DNA sample was collected from the suspect and sent to the Bexar County Criminal Investigations Laboratory. And then the following day, on July 11th, the results came back from the crime lab confirming that this individual was the suspect in the case from 1998. So today, our SVU detectives applied for and were granted an arrest warrant for the suspect, and he was taken into custody today by our street crimes unit without incident. The main message that we want to put out here today is that we don't stop working. This case is 26 years old. We didn't have a lot of we couldn't make the match until this year, 26 years later, but today we were able to effect an arrest on a case that involved a minor at the time, and hopefully this is the first step in getting justice for that victim. The victim, again, is 41 years old now, but at the time she would have been 15 years old, and at the time of the incident, the individual that we just walked out today, or we arrested, was 29. At the time.
What is this? What is a SANE?
SANE is a sexual assault nurse examination. Those are performed by highly trained nurses at hospital facilities, and they specialize in collecting evidence from victims as well as suspects in any kind of sexual assault.
Is that something new?
No, sir. SANE exams have been, like I said, this one is from 1998, but they've been happening for a long time.
So his prints came out as a hit?
It's not prints, it was a DNA.
But what was it under, how were y'all able to?
So it was in CODIS, and CODIS is a combined DNA, combined DNA index system, and that's that's a federal system, and that just collects DNA. Anytime that we have any kind of suspects where there is DNA, it just collects DNA from everywhere, from across the country. And so last month we were able to make the CODIS hit from that DNA sample collected in 1998.
Can you tell us how it hit? You already had it, right? Honestly,
It was in the system. In the system, we don't physically collect it, or we don't keep it here.
So it ran
but
in the system for 26 years.
That at some point, between 1998 and today, there was evidence collected from the suspect, and then the match was made last month.
Do you know why it was in the system already?
I don't know that. I don't have that information. No.
Was he arrested without incident?
He was arrested without incident. I don't know exactly where they picked him up, but they knew where he was, and so he was also on probation. So his probation officer helped us in identifying where he was and keeping tabs on him.
What was he on probation?
I don't know exactly.
And you were talking to us inside earlier. Do y'all think there might be other victims?
So this case is 26 years old. If anyone recognizes this individual, if you're a victim of this individual from at any time, please come forward. Again, in this particular case, the victim was 15 years old. Here, 26 years later, we're now on the first step of getting her justice that she deserves. And so we hope that there are no other victims, but if there are any other victims, please come forward, contact the police, we'll take the report. We already have them in custody, but we don't know if there are any other victims at this time or not.
And the main thing you want to let people know, y'all are never going to give up.
Yeah, so again, SAPD, again, this case is 26 years old. This kind of shows that we, as a department, as a law enforcement just community, we don't stop trying to find justice for any kind of victim that comes to us for help. Sometimes cases are solved a lot faster than others. This case was almost 30 years old, 26 years old. But again, we were able to, through the help of other agencies, again, the nurse that took the SANE exam back in 1998, the CODIS system that was able to match that DNA, we were able to, the Bexar County Crime Lab, all the different agencies working together to find the victim some justice.
Did it say where it took place?
Somewhere on the south side. I want to say it was off Roosevelt somewhere, but I don't know exactly. I wasn't able to look at the actual police report from '98.
And do they know if they were friends? Was he friends?
No, it was again. She from what the little bit that I did read, she was just a 15-year-old girl walking down the street. This individual approached her with a handgun, threatened her, and then sexually assaulted her.
And again, lastly, can you please state again his date of birth? Do you have
Sure. His again, Albert Quiroga, 55 years old. His SID number is 455749.
You know, if you-
I wouldn't be able to give it to you.
Can you tell us that in English about cameras?
Sure. So you have to remember, in 1998. So the question was why it kind of took so long. So this case, we got a hit in CODIS. So you have to remember, in 1998, we didn't have surveillance cameras everywhere as prominent as they are now. We didn't have cell phones as they are, where we get cell phone pings and all that kind of stuff. So the landscape for law enforcement was a lot different in 1998 as it is now. And so we're just so grateful that we were able to effect this arrest today, and again try to get this victim some closure and one step closer to justice.
I just got
Sure.
But was this person ever a person of interest?
So she didn't know him. We didn't know who he was at the time. Had it not been for the CODIS hit, he would not have been on our radar as for this case.
And you said it was July 21st, 2023.
July.
Right?
Yeah, it was on July 21st, 1998. Yep.
And what charges?
So he's going to be charged with aggravated assault. Aggravated sexual assault of a child.
And you gave us this person last name, right?
I did. Yeah, Albert Quiroga, 55 years old.
The last name?
Sure, Quiroga. I don't have a middle initial.
You said he was 55
He's 55 now.
right now.
Yes. Yes, he's 55 now.
If you're able to talk, does our victim know that he's been
Our victim has been contacted. She came in and gave a statement to our detectives. She's working with our detectives. Other than that, I'm not going to give any more comment on that.
Did she have
So she's relieved. She was surprised. Just called. 26 years later. But she is working with our detectives, and she's going to cooperate fully on this investigation going forward and through the judicial process.
What would he face on this charge?
He's looking at, he was arrested today for aggravated sexual assault of a child.
And what is that?
It's a felony, I think a second-degree felony, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double-check that for you.
And I don't know if this is a fair question, if it's been asked, but the 26 years, does that have any effect on the charge? You know how there's like...
The statute of limitation, no. So if the statute had limitations had run out, we would not have been able to file this case today. So he's going to go to trial, and again, that's going to be something for the attorneys to kind of go over at his trial. But we're just grateful that we were able to make the connection and make the arrest today.
Is that for any
Thank
kind of
you.
sexual assault? That there's no statute?
So there are statutes of limitation, and so I'm not an attorney, but I'll have to see what circumstances. Maybe because she was a minor at the time. I don't exactly know, but I can get back to you if you want to send us an email. We'll get back to you.